Stay and stay safe. From KCRG TV 9, this is First Alert Weather Now.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Monday edition of First Alert Weather Now, post-Thanksgiving holiday edition. I'm meteorologist Corey Thompson.
And I'm meteorologist Hannah Messier.
Yes, still perhaps walking off some of the food you ate over the past few days. I know we've had a lot of leftovers.
We have eaten so much food over the last couple of days, but if you still had some leftovers, you know, maybe that'll help cheer you up after what was a snowy morning.
Yeah, indeed. You'll have to warm them up a lot, too, because it has been rather chilly lately as well. We'll get into some changes in that coming up in the next few days, as well as your forecast for fun. We're actually going to look back at warmer December days.
Ooh, I'm excited to talk about some warmth.
That's what I thought too, so that's why we chose that for this week's Weather Rewind. We'll get to all of that in just a moment, but first what you need to know as you step outside this evening, well, the continued colder conditions. In fact, the start of your Tuesday looks fairly chilly. After skies turn a little bit clearer, we will get the benefit of that on Tuesday as well. Sunshine will help to boost our temperatures ever so slightly, and a warming trend continues until the middle of the week. That's when a cold front will be moving through. That's going to give us a chance for a few snow showers. It's also going to bring in some sharply colder air as we head toward Thursday, but it's short-lived. We'll see our temperatures bounce back a little bit again after that. Overall, precipitation lacking in the 9-day forecast. Wednesday, really our one chance that shows up. We'll get into the details of that coming up in a little bit as well. Your satellite radar view of this evening, no precipitation other than maybe a stray snowflake trying to fall out of these clouds or two, but unlikely as drier air has moved in near the surface. Clouds, though, being a little bit stubborn. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can see them on our Iowa City cam, that grayness toward the top of your sky, city lights reflecting off them. That's keeping our temperatures from falling very quickly. Now in western Iowa, some parts of the state already seeing single-digit temperatures. Here in eastern Iowa, we are in the 20s. Our wind chill is in the upper single digits to low teens, though, as those winds stay fairly brisk. Next couple hours, slower drop, but then we'll get down to those low to mid-teens as we head toward tomorrow morning. So again, be ready for that change. But like you said, this morning we had that fairly decent drop in our temperatures, and then we had that snow falling too.
Yeah, it was a pretty cold and snowy morning, though it was pretty to look at. If you got to sit inside for a little bit this morning and look at some of that snow, it was pretty picturesque.
Yeah, it did cause some slick spots though, and a few crashes around eastern Iowa.
Roads were not fun. Roads were the opposite of pretty. Now, the tires can help with that, and KCRG TV 9's Rebecca Vaughn shows us how a coin can help make sure your tires are ready for winter.
The phone at Mount Vernon Road Tire was ringing a lot this morning after one of the first snows of the season.
With the winter weather we got this morning, lots and lots of phone calls about tires and just general service of what should get done during the winter time.
During the winter, drivers should check the age of their tires.
Generally, every 5 to 6 years, you should be changing tires out. Rubber just gets older. As older it gets, it's more brittle. It basically falls apart. So even if you do have some tread wear left on the tires, rubber will fall apart on you. You should get those replaced.
Checking the tread of the tires can be done right in the driveway by putting a penny in the grooves.
I can see pretty much all of Abe Lincoln's head, his whole body there. Definitely need to get that replaced. And compared to a new tire, I can just see the very top of Abe's head there. That's what we want to aim for.
Wear bars in the grooves of the tire can also give an idea of when a tire needs to be switched out.
On the old tire, you can definitely see, especially in the middle, wear bars are actually past the point of replacement there. And then compared to a new tire, I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but it's kind of far down in the tread. Plenty of life on the new tires.
But it's not just the physical attributes of the vehicle that can keep you safe on the road. It's also what you do behind the wheel.
In the event of a skid, ease off the accelerator. Don't relax the brakes. Steer in the direction you want the vehicle to go, and straighten the wheel as soon as the car begins to go in the desired direction.
So everyone can make it home safe this winter.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for telling us all about those tires. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about what happened this morning. So if we take a look at Max 2, we have on our Cedar Rapids City Cam, this is what it looked like at 7 a.m., kind of a winter wonderland. A good amount of snow fell in some spots, but as we headed into the afternoon, it got a little bit better. Now, this is what we had overnight. We had overnight conditions bring in some cold temperatures and that snow. The temperatures were pretty below freezing, and the snow falling on the road caused the bridges and the on and off ramps and the overpasses to get pretty slick first, but temperatures were cooled enough that we actually got those colder temperature, those slick spots on roadways as well. This is a look at what we saw this morning. That snow exited the area towards Illinois as we headed into the afternoon, but this will start over again in just a moment, and we'll be able to see how some of that snow ended up moving into the area overnight. There we go. We can see that on the overnight, well, it doesn't look like it's loading. That's okay. We're going to talk about more of that icy condition. So light snow, when that falls on the roads and traffic goes on top of those roads, it melts that snow, then it'll refreeze. And we're going to watch for a little bit of that overnight, because some of that moisture still on the roads can refreeze and then cause some ice. So that's what we'll look at and watch for during the overnight hours. Now, of course, we didn't get a lot of snow with this system, but we still got those crashes and roads were still not great. That is because most of the crashes we see here in Iowa does come in less than 2 inches of snow. So just because you don't see much snow on the ground, and just a little bit can cause some of those crashes. Something that we always keep an eye on here in the weather lab. Now, as we look ahead to the Northeast, though, they had some lake effect snow, created whiteout conditions there, Corey.
Yes, they did. There's a little bit of video of what they were dealing with. Yeah, that is some heavy snow, and it just kept coming down. Measured in feet, those whiteout conditions out there. 5 feet of snow fell, in fact, in a few locations in some spots. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez reports on the heavy snowfall and the cold weather millions of us will now face.
More than 5 feet of snow falling over parts of western New York in the span of a few days. This is what Highmark Stadium looked like before the Buffalo Bills faced off against the 49ers Sunday. To prepare the stands and areas around the stadium, the Bills once again asked their supporters for help, and anyone over the age of 18 who was up for it was paid $20 an hour for clearing snow. In Copenhagen, New York,
this ain't nothing. You get used to this kind of weather living here.
people spent their weekend clearing out the snow from roads, driveways, and even their cars.
Not a huge fan, but we've been lucky, so I guess we're due. Well, lucky as in it is after Thanksgiving before we had our first major snow, so why not?
According to the Weather Prediction Center, an additional foot plus of snow could fall over western New York, northern Ohio, and parts of Pennsylvania through Monday. Lake effect snow warnings are in effect into Tuesday. Officials in Erie County, Pennsylvania say they're working to clear roads that as of Monday morning were impassable.
That's a result of snow plows and snow removal equipment not being able to access those areas. So now you need the National Guard, now you need the wreckers, you need all those things in order to remove those obstacles so they in turn can clear the snow.
Also asking people to stay home and off the roads.
Only travel when necessary.
The cold will also persist. Nearly 70% of the country will face temperatures below 32 degrees for the next few days. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Hannah Messier.
Even the snow can cause some problems for travelers. It also is pretty picturesque for those preparing for Christmas. Now, if you're decorating your house for Christmas and you have a picture you can send us, go over to kcrg.com/unews, or you can head over to the First Alert Weather app to submit photos, and we can air them for Colors of Christmas throughout December. Now, we have on your First Alert this evening all green boxes. Should be a fairly quiet night. This is the view on our Amana Colony city cam. It's pretty dark out there now that the sun is set. Temperatures are in the 20s, 22 in Cedar Rapids, 23 in Iowa City, and 23 in the Amana Colonies, with winds coming mainly out of the north around 10 miles per hour. So on our satellite and radar, we can see that quieter conditions have moved into Iowa. That snow now all the way down to the southeast in by Kentucky and Tennessee. Then we have some of those snow showers that they're watching out by the lakes, also by Wisconsin, Michigan, and then into New York. Now, as we take a look at our satellite and radar for our area, we have those clouds that Corey mentioned. Not expecting much in terms of Any snowfall tonight, we should be good to go there, but it is going to be a kind of a cloudy one, at least for the next couple of hours. Temperatures dropping into the teens. That is below normal for this time of year. Our normal low, 21 degrees, but tonight will only drop to 12 in Decorah, 11 in Cedar Rapids, and 11 in Washington, with winds coming out of the northwest. Highs tomorrow, they're going to be a little bit warmer than they have been over the last couple of days, but not by much. 30 in Cedar Rapids, 32 in Iowa City, actually getting to at freezing in Iowa City. Still cold up in the north though, 29 in Decorah, 28 degrees expected in Fayette. And it's not going to feel like that though. As we head into the overnight hours, the wind chills will drop into the single digits, and it's going to feel like the single digits for your Tuesday morning. So of course those hat, gloves, big winter coats are going to be needed to stay warm tomorrow on your way to work and school. So the good news is that for a good portion of Tuesday, we'll at least see some sunshine. So Tuesday afternoon, a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. As we head into Tuesday evening, we're still going to see fairly quiet conditions in terms of cloud cover. Even though we saw the chance for snow for today, Tuesday looks pretty dry. Wednesday, though, is a day that we are watching because a system moves off to our northeast. Now, this could clip just our far northeastern counties, bringing in a couple of light snow flurries, some light snow showers to our northeastern counties. But the farther southwest you go, the more likely it is you'll be pretty dry on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday also look pretty quiet, but Thursday and Friday also look pretty cold. We have another kind of cold day on Tuesday. Wednesday a bit more moderate with temperatures, but then Arctic air comes back down from the north on Thursday and Friday. So as we think about all of those cold weather situations we've been dealing with for today, Corey, I think, is going to look back at some Decembers that felt a little differently.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to cheer myself up, with all this cold weather around. Not necessarily my most favorite thing, but we will check in on that in just a second. We want to focus on the fun things first. Meteorologist Joe Winters, forecast for fun.
Once again, December is here, and there's lots of things going on as we approach Christmas and the start of winter. That's why you always want to tune in for your forecast for fun. Your walking forecast, first of all. If you're getting outside to take a walk on Tuesday, 31 degrees. Should see a stronger southwest wind build as we head through the day. That helps us out on Wednesday, but it's going to be a windy Wednesday. If you're taking that walk, watch out for those west winds, which will kick in greater than 40 at times. And in the afternoon, your walk may include a few scattered snow showers. On Thursday, we're at 24 degrees, chilly, and a northwest wind is still with us. Again, just kind of keep that in mind if you're out. If you're doing some holiday decorating, you can kind of guess what that forecast is going to be. Not bad Tuesday, partly cloudy, but windy conditions on Wednesday. Not a good day to do any holiday decorating outside. Chilly conditions take us into our Thursday if you are going to be out. The wind's not quite as strong. Marion's Christmas in the Park at City Square Park. That happens this Friday. You can visit Santa. There's the peace tree lighting, northwest winds, temperatures to be seasonable in the 20s. As we look at a magical night in Mount Vernon, which is Saturday, 37 degrees as activities get underway, 5 to 8 o'clock with holiday lights unveiling, carolers, there'll be cookie making, a live nativity. Looks like a beautiful night in Mount Vernon. And the Christmas tree lighting in Cedar Rapids, let's count it down. That happens as well as we head through this Saturday. Starts at 4:30, goes until 6 over at Green Screen Square. Partly cloudy skies and temperatures of 33 degrees expected. That's a look at your forecast for fun.
Some warmer temperatures could help some of those events, but you want that winter chill to go with them too.
It doesn't feel right if you're celebrating Christmas and there isn't at least a little snow on the ground.
Now, like you said, we have had warm times though in December. It's not totally out of the question this time of year. It just gets harder. But this week's Weather Rewind deals with those events. One of them was the December 4th in history, 1998. Temperatures were above normal. Most of the state got into the 50s and 60s. A good portion of southeast Iowa, though, got toward 70 degrees or higher, which is extremely rare during the month of December. In fact, many locations only have 1 or 2 days in their history in December meeting that mark. Now, in this first week of the month, yeah, there is a fair number of historical cases. There's that 1998 and December 4th. 2017, actually the same day, had very warm temperatures of at least 65 degrees for highs. 2012 on the 3rd, 1962, 1975, a smattering of different years here, including back in the 30s and 40s. Now, of course, when this happens, it tends to make headlines. This is from the Cedar Rapids Gazette, December 9th, 1946. Yes, new record, 65 degrees in Cedar Rapids. That record still stands for the 8th of December. Yeah, very, very warm. Folks are able to get out and about. Again, you take advantage of these types of days when you have them, but all good things come to an end. At least from my perspective, I do like the warmer temperatures. This is 1998, another piece from the Cedar Rapids Gazette. Warm temperatures, setting records, but winter was making its return very, very soon. Now, why? Because our weather pattern in these types of situations, usually what we call amplified. Instead of being flatter, where the jet stream just goes from west to east with a little interruption, it starts to develop these larger ridges and troughs in it. And so on the warm side, the ridge, you see very warm temperatures. So the upper level pattern has the jet stream moving up into our west and up into the Great Lakes in southern Canada. Warm air surges near the surface because of that. Area of low pressure typically located to our west in these patterns. High pressure well to our east. That clockwise flow around the high and counterclockwise flow around the low. That provides that southerly flow at the surface to really warm those temperatures up. We don't have enough power in the sun or length of daylight at this time of year due to the angle of the sun as well for the strength of it to get temperatures that warm. We just can't do it. So we have to get that air from somewhere else where the sun is able to warm it up more. Now on the backside, again, cold air pours in pretty quickly. These patterns are not meant to be stable. They don't stick around for a long time, and so they usually change pretty quickly. Now, it's usually the first week of December where it takes place the most. December 15th, 2021, though, is kind of the big outlier in terms of having the warmest temperatures of the month. That's when we set our all-time record December highs just a couple of years ago. Most areas reaching the low to mid 70s, blowing those records out of the water. But again, short-lived. 73 degrees at 3 o'clock on December 15th. 24 hours later, it's 36. Extremely strong northwest winds, providing a wind chill much colder than that. So indeed, things can change in a hurry when you have those big changes. Now, we're not going to see any temperatures reaching 65 or above anytime soon, and because we don't have them in our 9-day at this point, that kind of makes it unlikely that we're going to see them again, at least for a while.
Days like that can be pretty wild. AJ and I will talk about standing outside and like feeling the front come in as the temperatures change. It can be pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it certainly causes some interesting weather. And we will talk more about that December 15th coming up a couple weeks on Weather Rewind. Pretty historical day in Iowa, aside from just the temperature.
I'm excited to learn more about it.
Indeed.
Now let's take another look at our 9-day forecast in the next 9. The next couple of days we have temperatures still actually we have a big temperature swing actually in our forecast. Not as big as the one Corey was talking about, but 40 degrees is in the forecast for Wednesday, and Tuesday we're only going to have highs in the 30s. Speaking of Wednesday, that's also when we have another chance for some showers. Now Tuesday is going to be pretty dry, but Wednesday a system will come in from the northeast, bringing in a couple of snow showers, which is why we're watching for that on the 9-day forecast. Now as we look ahead to Wednesday night, though, temperatures are really going to drop. Wednesday night, 9 degrees is expected. And in addition, as we look at Thursday in terms of what it's going to be for wind chills on Thursday, look at that, wind chills on Thursday, -7 degrees is what it's going to feel like. So that's going to be the day you really are going to need to make sure you get bundled up. But this weekend's going to be a little bit of a different story. That'll be kind of nice. 41 degrees on Saturday, 46 degrees on Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds. So a warm and mostly sunny weekend. That's perfect if you need to put any lights up on your house. You don't have to be bundled up as much with temperatures like that. And then as we head into the later parts of the 9-day, it still looks pretty dry. Really the only chance of snow we're seeing right now is that little clipper system on Wednesday impacting our northeastern counties, Corey.
Yeah, there's those swings up and down in temperatures over the next few days. At least a little bit of relief if you're looking for that warmth. It will feel better over at least a few of these days.
Yeah, a little bit of warmth is nice to help us as we ease our way into the colder temperatures of winter.
We'll try our best. And thanks for joining us tonight here on First Alert Weather Now. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Have a good night.